Hey, it's Greg Burdine, Pastor of Faith Baptist Church. Happy Monday. I hope you're having a good day. Enjoyed yesterday, the worship time, and getting to go to church after missing last week. I hope that everything's going good at your house. Everything seems to be going good at my house, but I want to share with you, dip a little bit into Hebrews chapter 4. My sermon yesterday was from Hebrews chapter 4 of entering into God's rest. And today I want to kind of look at that first verse of Hebrews chapter 4 and kind of hone in on one thought. Don't miss God's rest. Don't miss God's rest. When I was a young boy, I told you a couple weeks ago about that we loved the Cincinnati Reds. Well, there was one time I can still remember. We went to a Reds ball game, the whole family, and my dad wanted to leave early, and so before the rush, the traffic. So we left before the game was over, and as we're out walking to our car, they kept saying on the loudspeakers, stick around after the game. We've got something special. I didn't think anything was going to be that special. And as we're walking out and out of the gates, can't go back in, we hear an announcer say, "This is your life, Johnny Bench." They were actually doing a television show about the life of Johnny Bench, the great catcher for the Cincinnati Reds. And we missed it because we wanted to get out early. We missed it. And we don't want to, I've missed so many good things. I don't want to miss the blessings that God has for me. And that's what Hebrews 4:1 encourages us. So listen to what it says. It says, "Let us therefore fear, lest the promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it." Let's fear. Let's have a little bit of fear that if we're not careful, we're going to miss the blessings that God has for us. God has promised us, when it talks about rest, talks a little bit about Sabbath. It talks a little about the blessings of God, the peace that God wants to bring us. And there's so many good things that God wants to give us. And if we're not careful, we'll miss it. Because you must enter rest by faith, by trusting. Israel missed it. God had them up to the border to go into the promised land. They saw the soldiers there, and they were afraid. They were more afraid of the soldiers than they were afraid of God. And so God says, you know what? That's the case. Then you're just going to have to wander in the wilderness. You're going to miss this blessing. You're still redeemed. You're still out of Egypt. You're still away. You're still my people. But you missed the blessings that I have for you. It's kind of like, going to the airport and you're a little bit late and you got your ticket, but they've already boarded and closed the gate and you can't go in. You missed it. And I hope that you don't miss God's blessings. I hope that you stay sensitive to what he wants you to do. Spend time in his word. Talk to him. Worship with God's people. I can't emphasize that enough. And I know I'm coming across on technology. But let me say this. One day we're going to be in heaven. And we're going to be with Christians 24/7, all the time. We can at least be with God's people 1 hour a week, can't we? And enjoy the time that we're together. Have faith and trust in Jesus so that as he brings things into your life, those blessings and that peace, love, joy, and peace will come to you. God bless you. And think about that one as you begin your day.